Alright, I think this thing is live. What's up, YouTube? About to do some Chiori Calcs. Genshin 4.5. The patch is live now, so about to work on some Chiori Calcs real quick, get an idea of how good or bad she is. So gonna work on these calcs live on stream with y'all. Give me just 1 sec while I set up one more thing. How good or bad? And my cat's all up in the way. Don't know if y'all can see him. Boy, you're in the way. You're in the way. Come on. Boy, trying to do some Genshin math. Come on. Alright. Guess I'll start figuring out a team to calc her in. So she's a Geo sub DPS, so I'll probably calc her in an Ito team first. That makes sense. See if she's an upgrade over Albedo. She should be. Not very hard to be an upgrade over Albedo. Crit rate circlet, right? Yeah, you'd use a crit rate circlet with her. 8, 10, 2. Boy, what are you trying to do? Why are you doing this as soon as I go live? Alright, set. I'm gonna calc on Husk for now. We'll get around to comparing the artifacts. Add passive for the weapon. And she gets 20 geo damage from my passive. Gonna have 40% geo shred from Zhongli plus resonance. Then gonna have geo resonance when you cast her burst. And when you cast her skill, actually, before I calc her in any team, let me just get an idea of what her damage looks like before accounting for her team. Let me see. Well, I'll just account for Zhongli, but for now, just her by herself. Just her by herself with her Zhongli, not accounting for full team. What's the damage look like? 250k. Cast skill. Then her A1, you get 2 more hits of the cast skill from that. Then the burst. Okay, so that's like 420k damage from off field with minimal field time. That's actually really high. That's actually really high off field damage. That's just with Zhongli. That's just with Zhongli plus Geo Resonance, nothing else. No buffs other than Zhongli's Geo Shred plus Geo Resonance. Though she is on her signature. That is a lot of damage though. I'm pretty sure the puppets hit 10 times. That seemed to be what it was. Wait, I didn't even do this right. That's supposed to be 3, not 2. That's 470k damage. Let me double check, make sure I didn't do anything right. That's a lot of damage. Defense, yep, Geo, crit, 8, 10, 2, yep, 8, 10, 2, 50 for defense, 24 Geo damage, 20 Geo damage, 48 skill damage. Okay, it looks like she does a lot of damage. Granted, all she does is damage, so she does need to do a lot of damage, but let me see how much that goes down by if she's not on her signature. So I'll just name that Raku, duplicate. When you try, your calcs never look disorganized. Hey, they don't need to be organized as long as the math is right. That's all that matters in the end. Let's see. Let me try Harbinger of Darn. Also, welcome in, welcome in. Thanks for stopping by. So far, Chiori looks pretty good. I'm not sure why I'm seeing so much negativity about her. It looks like she does a ton of damage. Although maybe that's just the signature being incredibly powerful, and it's a lot lower without it. Need to see. It's 10, 8 now if you're on Harbinger. Not gonna use a crit rate circlet on Harbinger. That's still 370,000 damage even with Harbinger. Let me put these in here and see what the percentile difference between that is. Why didn't they come up? Did I do something wrong? Why is it not coming up? That's the name of the shade. Okay, what the heck is happening here? Alright, I'll come back to that later. Let me just... This divided by this, that's... Okay, her signature is about 21% better than Harbinger of Dawn, which is probably her best free-to-play weapon, so... That is a pretty darn big upgrade. Let me check Cinnabar. She has multi-scaling with both attack and defense, so Cinnabar's probably not going to be as good on her as it is on Albedo, but let's see. I've got a feeling Cinnabar is not going to be better than Harbinger. Switch back to crit rate circlet. Yep, that added in the passive. Oh, it actually is slightly better than Harbinger. Though that's assuming you get the, what's it called, the Cinnabar passive on every single skill hit. I don't think you're gonna get it on everything. Let me just assume you don't get it on the A1s. Yeah, I'll just remove it from this. Okay, in that case, assuming you get it on 10 total hits instead of all 13, it's about equal to Harbinger, slightly less. Let me see if we don't use the burst. Slightly better than Harbinger if you don't use our burst. Slightly worse if it is, so basically equivalent to Harbinger. And you're not going to be able to use Harbinger with Farina, so on Farina team, Cinnabar is going to be her best free-to-play weapon. What about other 5-star weapons? Well, she does have attack scaling. Let's try Jade Cutter. Why did I type Jade Cutter? It's PJC. Typing longer names than I need to. Switch that back to crit damage. She can overcap if I use the full 10. Yes, she is. So move those to defense. Like 380k, so Jade Cutter isn't actually much better than the free-to-play weapons. That's like 3% better than Harbinger and Cinnabar? Huh. Expected more than that. Let me double check. Did I do something wrong? Well, I guess it makes sense since she has so much defense scaling. It makes sense Jade Cutter wouldn't be that great. Anything else worth checking right now? Let's try both thing. Just the substats. At the crit rate, I'm just gonna assume 1 stack on average. So R1 will think slightly worse than Harbinger and Cinnabar. If you don't use the burst, it's still slightly worse. What about that R5? That's 390k, so better than Jade Cutter, Harbinger, and Cinnabar once you get it to R5. Is there any other weapon worth looking at right now? I mean, everything else is pretty much just stat sticks. I think Jade Cutter is a good representation of 5-star stat sticks, and Cinnabar and Harbinger cover free-to-play weapons. Let me take a look at our artifacts. For Husk. Already got that. Now let's go with Golden Troop. Get rid of that and that. 2 Golden Troop. I'm assuming Golden Troop and Husk are going to be like neck and neck. That's 459. Husk slightly ahead if you're using burst, but if you are not using burst, then yep, neck and neck, about equal, but Husk pulls ahead if you do use a burst. I'm not sure how worthwhile using a burst is yet though, haven't gotten that far yet. What about a two-piece, like maybe 2 GT, 2, no actually that's stupid, just do 2 Geo, 2 Husk. Or 20k, that's like about 11% behind Husky and Golden Troop, so definitely want to get a full set on her, but it's not unserviceable without a full set. Budget cover artifacts, weapons. I guess now I should start calculating some teams. Let's try Ito. Okay, I'll have her on Harbinger for the team Calcs, unless it's a team with Farina. What's Ito's combo again? Let me double check. I do not remember what combo Ito was supposed to do. Double checking what combo I usually have Ito calculated at. Alright, found him. There we go. So I guess you do like, what's that over here? Shangli, Holy. Oh, that's day of 15. Garo, EQ, Chiori, Q, EE. Yeah, I think that's due. When I do weapon sheets, though, I calculate with different KQM standard builds with different 20 subset distribution. So yeah, I adjust the substats for the weapon. So like Jade Cutter overcaps on crit rate with her. If I go all in on crit rate, if I use the full crit rate substats that I'm allowed under Kuchinban standards, with Jade Cutter should overcap on crit rate, so I move some of those substats to defense, whereas with any other weapon I use the full 10 or 8 crit rate substats that I'm allowed under the Kuchinban standards. So yeah, I adjust the substats based on the weapon to make the best build for that weapon. Now in this Chiori team, in this Ito team, even before adding Gengaro's buffing at all, she's doing almost 400k damage on a 3-star weapon. That's pretty darn good. Let me add in. Well, she's not gonna get full uptime on Garo. I don't believe she's snapshot, so she's not gonna get full uptime on Garo. So, gonna have to do this precisely. I think it should just be like 2 or 4 puppet hits that miss his buff. And there's some 4 miss it. it's gonna be negative 25 damage. Yo, Jamie, thanks for stopping in, my friend. I appreciate it. Have a great night, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Crit damage, negative 30. Defense, negative 438. Now let's go ahead and apply those buffs. Now that we removed it for the stuff that's not going to get it. So 25 defense, 438 flat defense, 40 crit damage. Now apply those hits. I mean, that's a lot of damage. 480k damage with a 3-star weapon, and she's not even getting full. Wait, no. I see what I did wrong here. The flat defense, she's not getting that on the. Yeah, the flat defense, that only applies to the on-field character. Okay, I see what I did there. So yeah, she's not getting that anywhere. Okay. And then I also forgot he gives 15% geo damage though, so it's another 30% on the cast skill and burst. Yeah, okay, that should be right. I mean, that's still 450,000 damage on a 3-star weapon with fairly minimal fill time. I think that's pretty darn good. I'm curious, what would that be with Her Honor's signature and Ito's team? Yo, Reaper, welcome in. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Doing some Chiori calcs right now, figuring her all out. Gonna try to see if I can complete my Chiori master sheet on stream. Go ahead and put her on Uraku, R1. Change that to crit rate. 8, 10. Skill damage. Yeah, okay, that's a lot of damage. That's like 560k damage. It is on her signature, but still 560k damage for a sub DPS with no reactions and fairly minimal fill time. That's pretty freaking good. Let me plug in the rest of Ito's team, get the full team DPS. Go ahead and collapse that. Oh, actually, wait! I forgot to yeah, the cast burst and yeah, I forgot something here. The cast burst and the the cast burst and the skill hits. Those actually the cast burst and cast skill. Those actually will get Garo's flat defense buff. I need to add that in here. So that's actually slightly more than what I calculated. 438. Just those will get it. Okay, yeah, that's like 480k. Yeah, that should be right. Yeah, it's like 480k sub DPS damage. That's kind of freaking insane. So how much does that actually elevate Ito by though? Need to plug into full team to see. How do I usually calculate Ito's buff up time? Alright, Red Hern. How much ER do I usually calculate him on? Yeah, that should be fine. 8, 9. Let's go ahead and fix up these artifacts. Husk. Quick, Chiori's damage is even higher. I forgot to account for tenacity on Zhongli and noblesse on Garo. Oh my goodness. I'll just assume the attacks that don't get Garo's buff also don't get noblesse. It's like 500k damage. I'm gonna have to double check this, make sure I didn't do something wrong, because that's a lot of freaking damage. Everything looks right. I think she just does a lot of damage. Which is good. She needs to do a lot of damage, since damage is all she does. So it does look like she's at least doing a lot of damage. Alright, that should be all of Ito's buffs. I forget which attack is which with Ito. He's so confusing. Chiori actually good? Yeah, she's looking, from these numbers so far, she's looking pretty good. Only issue is at C0, a lot of her damage, you need to have a Geo construct to activate it. So she might be pretty hard to make work in any team that's not a Geo team, but for Geo teams, I'm thinking she should be pretty darn good. This is a lot of damage. Checking something. Feel like I'm missing something with Ito here. Yep, I am. The flat defense buff, that's what I'm missing. There we go, that looks right now. Just gonna copy Ito's combo over from another sheet. Save me a lot of time. Yeah, it's a shame that she has no supportive capabilities. Like, it would have been nice if, like, the self-geo damage bonus buff she gives, the 20% geo damage bonus, that was like a team-wide universal damage bonus buff, then I think she would be amazing, but her damage is really good in the type of teams she's meant to be used in, so that's good. Alright, that's like 66k before adding Zhongli and Garo. They don't do much, but they don't do nothing. Let me just double check one thing. See. Let's see if it's a DPS game to skip her burst for shorter rotation. It's about the same. I'll just keep assuming she uses the burst. I know Zhongli and Garo don't do much, but I still gotta take the time to calculate them anyway. Attacks are still loading in. Will I calc for Chiori plus Navia? Yep. I'm gonna do Chiori and Navia as soon as I finish this Ito calc. Also, if you guys have any suggestions for teams you want me to calc, just let me know. Just let me know, and I'll calc it. Garo's burst hits 6 times? No, I think his burst hits 8 times. Yeah, I'd say. Yeah, Crystal Collapse hits the DOT, I think. Yeah, we just need to add Shangli, so this is looking like it's going to be like 71k DPS. What about Noelle? Yeah, I can cap Noelle too. Probably going to be Noelle, Chiori, Garo, Farina, probably. Unless there's another Noelle team you want me to calc, but I think that should be the one. Noelle, Farina, Chiori, Garo. Yep, that's the team. Not sure on the rotation for that team yet, though. We'll need to figure out a rotation. How many Zhongli hits do I usually calc with Ito? I guess like what, 12 pillar hits or something like that? Since there's count chart for the microwave thingy. Yeah, about 70k DPS. Ito teams before were like... Okay, let me check what I had for Ito teams before. Let me check my old Ganyu level sheet for my previous Ito team DPS. See how much of an upgrade this is. I think I had like 66k. Need to double check and be 100% sure though. Yeah, it was about exactly 66k before, so that's like what do you think error? Oh, it must be the commas. It's like a 6% DPS increase, but it's also a really nice practicality increase for Ito for several reasons. So, Chiori's got some decent front loaded damage with her burst, her cast skill damage, and yeah, burst, cast skill, the A1 hits, and the first two puppet hits that you'll get right after casting her skill. So, if we just look at the front loaded damage, how much damage can she front load into an Ito team? That's like that's like really early into the rotation. She's already doing over 300,000 damage. So because you get the cast skill damage, then you get the two A1 hits, you get her cast burst, and you get those two puppet hits as soon as you cast her skill. So yeah, really early into the rotation, Chiori's already doing over 300,000 damage. So she adds a lot of front load to Ito's team that he would not have had before. Plus, unlike Albedo, she doesn't have a breakable construct, so you're not having to worry about her breaking and losing all her damage and particle generation, and that was a huge pain in the ass with Ito before because he really needs that off-field energy generation. Being able to just lose all of Albedo's energy just like that was terrible. So Chiori's just a straight up upgrade in every sense of the term for Ito. Definitely a huge W for Ito mains. Now Navia. Not gonna use Harbinger on her with Navia. No, that's dumb. Gonna be using Farina. I'll use Cinnabar. See, Lord, that 20 since it's not gonna be Zhongli. There's not gonna be a construct, so it should be 5 hits. Even without a construct, she's still doing like 240k damage before accounting for any buffs from the rest of the team other than that Geo Resonance. So yeah, her damage is good. Like, her damage is really good. Navia plus Chiori. Trying to think how you would rotate this. I guess Farina EQ, that's like 2.7 seconds. Chiori EE 1 second. Bennett EQ in 2.5. Navia QE, that's like what, 3.5 seconds I think. Chiori Q, that's like 1.6 seconds. See, after casting Chiori's Q, you should be able to swap back to Navia. And you should still have enough infusion duration on Navia left to do like an into, I think. So I'm gonna assume Navia into E in Thor. That's like 6 seconds of fill time, I think. Just add into swap times. It's like 18.5 seconds, I think. Yeah, I think that should do. Also, maybe try a double Geo combo with Hu Tao with Chiori, Zhongli, Yelan. Oof. Double Geo Hu Tao? I mean, yeah, I could try it, but I think compared to Hu Tao's modern day teams with Farina, it's not gonna be great, but could be good for an option for Hu Tao if you wanna play her with a shielder, and if let's maybe you're using Farina on another team. I can calculate that, sure. Definitely not going to be one of Hu Tao's strongest teams, I don't think, but could still be a good option if you have like Farina locked up somewhere else and stuff. Alright, let's see. Buffs, you're gonna have Noblesse, and you're gonna have what else? Farina. What do I usually average Farina at in Bennett healer teams? Like 38, yeah, like 38. That's like 294k. Wait, you should get Bennett buff on some hits, shouldn't you? Yeah, because I have her swapping to you, so a burst here, so you'll get Bennett buff on her burst. Then also probably like 2 puppet hits. No, actually, that should just be 1 puppet hit. So like 310k. That's pretty darn good. Need to see how much damage Navia is doing. Navia and Farina are doing to get the full team DPS though. Go ahead and collapse that. Navia 10 attack. Geo, I forget, did she use crit rate or crit damage? I think crit rate. Verdict 8, 10, 2, 1127 from Bennett, 20 from Noblesse, plus 40% from her own buffs, 15% from Gia Resonance, 38 from Farina. Whispers. Oh yeah, Verdict skill damage, that's 2 stacks, 36% skill damage, right? Yeah, that's 36% skill damage. For a piece, 50 geo damage. Her attacks are still loaded in. Oh yeah, 40% normal attack damage bonus, can't forget that. Normal attacks are loaded in, let's just go ahead and apply those. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go, that's everything. Burst DOT, that's 18 times I believe. And her 2 skill casts. Damage seems lower than it should. Did I do something wrong here? Feels like she should be doing more damage. Ah, the far piece effect of the whispers didn't apply. Right, I didn't apply that 50 anywhere. Yeah, the 50 is not applied. It's like 842k. Let me check my prior now via Calc, see if something looks about. No, I think I did everything right with her here. Let's see. Yep. Yeah, I think this is right. About 842k. Now we just need to add Farina. HP, crit rate, 8, 10. Just gonna put her on Favonius. Could prop calculate her on Festering. You don't really need the Favonius particles in this team, I don't think, but I'll just be conservative and use Favonius instead. True. Then there's, whatchamacallit, the 38 from her thingamajig. Golden Troop. Wait for the 4-piece to load. Actually, probably put on crit damage, not crit rate. I forget which one's better. Change that to 70, and attacks are still loading in. Need to make sure I change that to 10. Just one more. There we go. So you got 4 crab hits, 6 usher, right? Is it 6 or 5? I forget. Got the chef, that's, I always forget how many it is. 12. Then you have the Oisha Bubble and the skill damage cast. And so we'll add like 75k. Just need to add in Bennett. Not like he does really anything, but still need to add him. Get noblesse. Attacks are still loading in. There we go. Wait, what's her burst? I mean his burst. Just need his burst. So that I can apply his burst buff to it. That's not it. There we go. 1127. Noblesse. And his C6. And I guess I'll vaporize that because of Arena. So that's like 76k. And let me check my Navia master sheet, see what I had before. Actually, that should be 5 Usher hits, not 6. Still like 76k. Okay, so currently I have Navia at about 74k with Albedo and Zhongli, 70k with Geo Traveler, 67k with Ningguang, so 76k. That's it. That's a slight DPS upgrade over Zhongli and Albedo, and she's got practical advantages over Albedo because again, no stupid construct that you have to worry about, and she's obviously got much more reach than Zhongli's pillar, so she's gonna be more reliable at proccing crystallized for Navia than. Oh, actually, I don't think I applied Navia's damage bonus for going above, for reaching like her 15, 30, 45 damage bonus to her skill. I don't think I applied that at all. Let me just apply 15%, assume you're at like 4 stacks instead of the full 6. Currently I just have her at the 3. Which one is it? This one. Apply 15 damage bonus there, and you're at like 77k. Okay, yeah, that's like not a huge upgrade over Albedo and Zhongli, like 4%, but again, she's got it seems to be an upgrade on paper while also having practical advantages that don't show on paper, like the not having the breakable construct like Albedo. Zhongli's is breakable too, and you also don't have to worry about missing things that Zhongli's pillar would be missing and not actually getting crystallized. So yeah, I think she's looking great for Geo so far. Looks like an upgrade for both Ito and Navia, even at C0. All right, now next, what do we calc next? I want to try a Lenny double Geo team, actually. I think that could be interesting. Zhongli, Chiori, Bennett. Yeah, I think that should be interesting. I think she does enough damage to make double Geo Lenny to be an upgrade for shielded Lenny, be the highest DPS option for Lenny if you play him with a shielder. I can see that. Wait, no, I'm mentioning things, never mind. Yeah, I did that right. I was thinking I did something that I didn't, never mind. Alright, yeah, so... Harbinger... Gonna have Pyro Resonance... and Noblesse. That's like 400k. Rotation, probably something like Zhongli, Oli, Chiori, Bennett, QE to end. What combo do I usually calculate on Lenny? Let me double check. To find a Lenny calc, see what combo I usually calculate on him. Something like I need 3 CA QE. I think that should work. It's like what, 11 seconds, 11.5. Might be able to fit in 4 Lenny CA here. Let me double check. Do I have a 4 CA calc? Well, I'll just assume you do a second Benedict to help with energy for now instead of doing 4 CA. We'll just go with that for now. But I don't have a burst in this calc. Let me take that off. Alright, Lenny. First Great Magic. 1127 from Bennett. 20 from Noblesse. 20 from Tenacity. 25 from Resonance. Could probably try to figure out a rotation to use Petra, but I don't feel like doing all that. 15 from Bennett C6. 15 from Georesonance. Hunter. Then 2 stack the first grade magic. Then his first CA should only have 1 stack of Hunter. Need to wait for that stuff to finish loading though. Go ahead and apply to 36 crit rate. Then once all these attacks are done loading, they'll just make a prop arrow that only gets 1. Actually, I forgot to do his self-buff thingy to Pyro. That's 20, not triple Pyro. To make sure I set this to affected by Pyro. Now, one stack. So that'll be negative 24 crit rate on this one. Get 2 of these, 4 of these. Got the burst, explosive firework, and 2 spirit thorns, and then 5 stack skill. That's like 8, 7, 8. If we can fit in a 4th prop arrow, that should be like, yeah, I think we'll need to fit in a 4th prop arrow for this to be good. So let's just remove the second Benedy and say do 4 CA, like 13 second fill time, 3, 5. Then definitely gonna need some ER, so I'll do ER calcs, not justice, once I've done proper ER calcs later, but I'm just gonna assume you need like 4 ER subs on him for now. That's like 68. Wonder if you could fit in Chiori's burst. Probably not worth trying to though. Actually, missing tenacity on Chiori. Yeah, that's like 680k. Let me double check something to make sure I'm not overlooking something. Checking just one thing. Let me start putting in Bennett and Shankly. Gonna take a while for them to load in. May as well get them in now. Alright, Bennett. C6. Ellie. 13. 13. ER, Pyro, Crit. How much DPS goes down by if I cut the rotation shorter and do, let me see. $68K. Well, let's type in it at Shankly's damage. Not that Shankly or Bennett really do anything, but still gotta add them. Now just throw his damage in once it's loaded, and we can move on to the next team. Actually, what was the highest damage shielded Lenny team I had before? Let me check that. Get an idea of how much of an upgrade this is, if at all. Highest DPS shielded Lenny team I had before was double Geo using Navia and Zhongli, and this is like 70k, so it is a slight upgrade over that. So for shielded, if you like playing Lenny with a shield, this looks like it's the way to go. Chiori. So that makes 3 teams so far that she seems to be good in. Sling Shock Shock release damage. Alright, now I'll try that double Geo Hu Tao, Chiori, Zhongli, Yelan. I'm not sure if you'll get any lost vapes from Crystallize with Chiori and Zhongli there with just Yelan as the Hydro. I don't think you should, I'll just assume you don't. Yeah, we'll use her on Harbinger. Detail plus Chiori. So I guess rotation would be like Zhongli, Li, Chiori, E, Yelan, EQN. Then Hu Tao. How many N2C does she do? I believe it's 8. Then it looks like there's still time to do Chiori's burst, so I'll just have to do it at the end. So yeah, I'm not gonna bother trying to fit Petra on Zhongli in this rotation. It's gonna be too much of a hassle. So you got 20% attack from Tenacity, and I think that's all. Yeah, I don't think there's any other buffs here. Now, Hu Tao. Alright, actually, I think Yelan is still up when Chiori uses her burst here. Yeah, Yelan's burst is just ending when Chiori. Yeah, it's near the end when Chiori uses her burst here, so should get Yelan buff on Chiori's burst here. So that's like, got the 15 from Resonance, and I'll just say 40 from Yelan. Yeah, that's like 400k damage from Chiori. Yeah, I think that's right. Need to add Homa above 50%. You got damage bonus 15 from Resonance, also 25 from Yelan. Shorty from Tenacity. What else do we need? We need Shimenawas. Charge deck 50, Amulet deck 50. I feel like there's something I'm forgetting to put in. I'll just average her A1 down. Assume you have it every 1 out of 3 rotations. Or 2 out of 3, yeah, I'll say 2 out of 3. Now you have 8 fake CAs. You have 2 fake blood blossoms. Damage, 2 damage. I forget which one's fake here. You got 16 total linear hits, so 5 will vape. Should be like 3 and 1, 2 and 2, I think. Oof, Hotel's damage ain't great in this team. It's like 58k only, but we haven't added, what's her name, Yelan's damage yet, so I'll do that. Just need our dice to pop up. we go. So it's like 71k. Okay, it doesn't look that bad now that Galen's damage is added in. Like 71k DPS for a shielded team without circle impact. Unless you count Chiori's dolls as circle impact, though I think that's a bit of a stretch, but it doesn't look half bad. Obviously not as strong as Sutel's actual strongest teams with Farina and Bennett or Farina and Jian Yun, but still good. Not bad. We'll just throw in Zhongli, not like he's going to do any damage, but still got to throw him in. Alright, Zhongli, then I can move on to the next team, or I can do Constellations. I think after adding Zhongli in here, I'll start calculating our Constellations, then I'll move on to some other teams. It's like a 72k DPS team, so definitely not one of Hu Tao's strongest teams, but if you want to play her with the shield, and assuming that no vaporizers get messed up, this is a pretty good way to do it. I think this is the highest DPS shielded Hu Tao team I've calculated. So if you do want to play her with a Tao, this is a good way to go. If you do want to play Hu Tao with a shield, this is a good way to go. Now, let's see. I want to do her Constellations now. Let's start with a team without constructs. Yeah, C1 doesn't improve for damage if you already have a construct. However, it's still not useless because it increases her range. And from my understanding, it increases her range by a lot. So that can still be a pretty good practical improvement even for teams that do already have a construct. But the actual damage isn't increasing if you already have a construct. Would be really cool if it made you get a third doll if you did already have a construct, but unfortunately it doesn't. See, for a Constellation Calcs, I want to have her on her signature weapon, so I'm going to switch Sinber over to her sig. Well, actually, I'm curious how much of a DPS upgrade it is for Navia to go to C0 to C1 with on 4-star first, so... we just change this to 8 and that to 2. So it's like 83k. That's like... Actually, yeah, I'll just do the Constellations with her on whatever I have her on right now. That's fine. Name this to C1, no construct. So she's doing 430k damage now. Compared to C0. Actually, what did I just do? What did I just do? No, I did that right. I'm tripping. I'm imagining things that I'm not even doing. Let me rename this to C0. No contract. Thank you for actual numbers. Amount of Chiori negativity online is ridiculous. I saw some people call her an albedo side grade or downgrade, which is ridiculous. Yeah, no problem. That's what I'm here for. My job is to cut through all the bullshit and white noise and provide the actual facts and numbers. Yeah, calling her an albedo side grade. I mean, if you only look at the numbers, then in some teams she does kind of just look like a side grade / slight upgrade. But you have to look past the numbers and realize just how much more she's offering than albedo. Like the amount of damage she's front loading, then not having to worry about the stupid construct, all that stuff. When you look at the full picture with the damage increase she provides over albedo plus all that other stuff, then it starts to become pretty clear that she's a pretty big upgrade over him overall. And yeah, calling her a downgrade, I don't know who's calling her a downgrade to albedo, but that's just wrong. There's no universe where she's a downgrade to albedo. No, C0, no construct, she's doing 312k, 436 at C0. Jesus! That's like a 41% damage increase from C0 to C1 in teams without a construct, so insane. AoE? Do you mean like albedo's providing AoE over Chiori? Because albedo doesn't actually have much AoE either. I think some people make the mistake of thinking that albedo hits everything inside his flower, but he doesn't. His damage procs in a radius near the enemy that it procced on, and the AoE on it isn't actually that big. So I'm not even sure if he has more AoE than Chiori. Need to check that. But yeah, if you're using her without a construct, C1 is a freaking 40% damage increase. That's kind of insane. Definitely adding some great vertical investment for Navia. Granted, you do already have Farina constellations for that, but I know a lot of people for some reason prefer using Zhongling over Farina with Navia, so if you're not using Farina with Navia, then it looks like Chiori's constellations are going to add some excellent vertical scaling for you. Let's try C2. Change that from... Actually, I didn't actually technically change this to C1. There's the Kinu. I won't have Cinnabar with the Kinu. I'll assume the Kinu doesn't get Cinnabar. Get 3 of those, so that's 540k damage. That's a 73% increase from C0 to C2, and from C1 to C2, that's... How big of an upgrade is that? %, up. So C0 to C1 without a construct is a 41% increase. And then C1 to C2 is about a 23% increase. So those are both really big increases. Too bad C1 is becoming a trend with characters in Fontaine. Yeah, I don't mind characters having great C1s, because, like, I mean, having a good C1 is just entirely a positive, unless it's coming at the expense of some things that should have been in their base kit. Like, I guess you can argue that Chiori C1 should have been in her base kit. Unfortunate that it wasn't, but nothing we can do about it. Besides Ryo, the others are even okay at C0. Yeah, as long as them having a C1 isn't coming at the expense of them not functioning properly at C0, I don't think it's a problem. And Chiori is still looking great, even at C0, even in teams without construct. If I were to guess, I would assume that probably the reason why they made her C1 versus base kit the way it is so that, like, probably to try and bridge the gap between Ito and Navia, so since Navia needs to get Chiori C1 to unlock her full damage while Ito doesn't. That's probably to try to help bridge the gap between Ito and Navia, because if Navia got both puppets with a C0 Chiori, then the damage difference between Navia team and Ito team, it just wouldn't even be close. But Chiori C1 being the way it is kind of helps bridge that gap a bit. So I think that's probably why they made that the way it is. Would the best constellation for Navia be Chiori C1 or Furina C1 now? So I'm pretty sure it's still going to be Furina C1. I can calc that in a bit after I calc all of Chiori's constellations. But I'm pretty sure it's still going to be Furina C1. Furina C1 is still absolutely insane. I don't think Chiori C1 can outmatch Furina C1. But I do know that a lot of Navia players don't actually use Furina for whatever reason. Furina cheats a lot better than Zhongling for Navia, but most of the time I see people playing Navia, they're using Zhongling and not Furina. I don't know why, but if you're not using Furina, then Chiori's constellations are absolutely going to be the go-to to vertically invest into Navia if you're not using Furina. But if you are using Furina, then I'm pretty sure you should still prioritize Furina's constellations. So we're at C3 540k. Wait, I didn't go up at all. Oh, I didn't increase the talent level. There we go. Okay, so C3 we're doing 613k. She's gonna pass Navia's damage, so at this rate. That's actually, let me do that again. So Chiori C3 is a 96% increase over Chiori C0, assuming there wasn't a construct, and her C3 is a about 14% increase over her C2. So that's still another pretty big damage increase. Our constellations are looking kind of insane so far. So we had C1 41% increase over C0, C2 23% increase over C1, then C3 14% increase over C3. Let's take a look at C4. Now C4, if I recall correctly, I'm not actually logged into the game right now, I don't have the game open right now, but if I recall correctly, her C4 summons 3 more of the Kinu puppets, and they come out a lot faster, so they come out once per second instead of once per 3 seconds like C2, so C4 is actually pretty front-loaded damage, but like the same amount of damage added as C2, but it's front-loaded, so that's 730k. Actually, why is this not formatted in percent? What am I doing? There we go. Now C4 versus C3. You got another really big damage increase. That's a 19%. So that's a 135% increase from C0 to C4. C3 to C4 is a 19% increase. So yeah, she's just getting fat damage increases every single constellation. It's kind of insane. She's doing like 733, like 730 damage at C4. Wait, let me change that to actually say C4. I want to see what the damage is at C4R1. Let me see if we put her on her signature instead of Cinnabar. So I feel like she might just be doing equivalent, if not more damage than Navia, and just in the same team if she's C4R1 while being the sub DPS, which is kind of insane. There we go, skill damage. Need to uncollapse. 48. Jesus Christ. Bruh, she's doing almost 1 million damage per rotation with minimal field time as a sub DPS if you have her at C4R1. She's doing more damage than Navia in the Navia team if you have C4R1 Chiori. What the hell? Let me see if it's still more if Navia does 3 instead of 2. Okay, Navia does do more if she does her 3E, but still, Chiori's damage being this freaking high, almost basically 1 million damage per rotation as a sub DPS without reactions at C4R1. That's kind of insane. I know C4R1 is a lot of investment, but still, that's legitimately hyper carry levels of damage as a sub DPS. Kind of funny. Now C5. C5 is probably going to be a pretty low damage increase compared to everything else. Alright, that's +3. What am I doing? That was a... Yeah, C5 only a 2% increase, so far C5 is her only bad constellation. But nothing you can do about that. It is what it is. Now C6. C6 is for playing her as a main DPS, but I'm pretty sure you can still get a damage increase out of it, even with sub DPS. Let me think, because that resets her skill cooldown, so... Yeah, that resets her skill cooldown, so... What you can do is... Actually, let me think. Yeah, because we swapped to her again to use her burst in this rotation. So when we swap to her this time, her skill isn't going to be on cooldown. So instead of just doing her skill, we can do Q, E, E. It's going to add 1 second to the rotation. But the thing is, from what I've seen, when you cast Chiori's skill, the puppet recasting her skill. Recasting her skill seems to reset the attack patterns of her puppets. So if you cast her, depending on the timing when you cast her skill, I do believe you should get 2 extra puppet attacks out of it. So I'm going to assume that you do, and that takes the puppet attacks from 10 to 12, and those extra 2 would have been Bennett buffed since you do that inside Bennett's circle. And then you are going to... Yeah, you're going to get 2 more... You're going to get 2 more A1, and you're also going to get... Why is my brain dying? Yeah, you're going to get 2 more A1 hits and also 1 more cast skill hit. So that's going to take this from 3 to 6. So even without using her normal attacks at all, which is what her C6 is for, in this team, since you do get to take advantage of that skill reset, this looks like it should be a... Let me see... Still like a 26% damage increase over C5, and overall a 201% increase over C0, so... That's some of the highest constellation scalings I've seen on any character. Like, only constellation scalings I've seen even remotely similar to this are like Farina and Dia. So yeah, her constellations are absolutely incredible. Let me now take a look at them in Ito's team where you already have a construct, because they should be not nearly as valuable. Well, no, don't. I shouldn't say that. But yeah, the overall increase in the Ito team should be lower, because for the C1 it's not going to do anything, and for the C6 is also not going to do anything since you don't have a chance to recast Chiori's skill in this rotation. So the overall constellation increase is definitely going to be a lot lower here. But let's see. C0 construct. Let me move that over here. Move these up so they're easier to find. Alright, what were we? C0 construct, C1 construct, gonna be the same thing. But you do get that range increase, so it's still not like it's not providing any value. C2 construct. Alright, I need to add it. Come on, load in. It's taking that sweet time loading in. Oh, I'll just add it in manually. Oh, there it is. Maybe the numbers on it don't look right. think that's right. Yeah, that should be right. So what was it with now the Okay, I think your C2 loaded in one talent level higher than it should have been. Either that or the thingamajiggy is one lower. Let me check something. Something's wrong with her C2 in this template. Either something's wrong with her C2 or the base scaling. Let me double check something. Okay, it's the C2. It's loading in at talent level 11 instead of 10 for some reason. So let me fix that. Where is she? Just lower that by one level on all of these. Okay, there we go. Still, the increases are still insane even after fixing that. She's still doing like 980, yeah, still doing almost 1 million damage per rotation at C4 R1. Now back to the no construct constellations. So that's, wait, no, the construct constellations. There we go, there we go. Alright, so that's... Actually, why don't I put this in a table? C0 507 C1, same thing. C2, so percentile increase, none, and then put that in percent. So now increase to C1 and then 25% at C2. There we go. I don't know why I wasn't putting that in a table before. That's making that so much easier to track. Now C3 contract. Increase that 13. Wait, what just happened? Something doesn't look right. that's 15% increase. Let me make another column so I can do over C0 as well. So C3, 44% increase over C0, 15% over C2, C4. That's just gonna be 3 Marquinos. %, over C4 and 73% over C0. So our constellations are still looking pretty insane. I want to check that C4 R1 damage with Ito as well. Switch this over to the weapon. Skill damage, need to add that skill damage. And that's Jesus. That's 1 million damage per rotation at C4 R1 in the Ito team. Once you get her to C4 R, was it Mara even at C4 without the weapon? No, you need the weapon. So if you have her at C4 R1, she's gonna be doing more damage than Ito in the Ito team. That's, I know it's C4 R1, that's a lot of investment, but still, that's freaking funny. Let me check how much of that damage is front-loaded. So you have, in the amount of time that you can front-load damage, you're gonna have like 3 C4 hits plus 1 C2 hit. Not gonna have that. You're gonna have the cast skill plus the 2 A1s. Then the 2 puppet hits. Yeah, like that's over 1 million damage per rotation with over 600,000 of it being done very early into the rotation. So, yeah, her constellations are definitely adding great value to Ito. His front load is something he really lacked. Granted, our C1 doesn't do much for Ito other than the range, so definitely want to make sure you're going for at least C2 if you're going to get them for Ito. Otherwise, a weapon is better to go for. But yeah, she's definitely adding a great vertical investment to Ito, which is something he really didn't have before, because his own constellations are kind of trash. Chiori's constellations are way better than his. She had so much room for vertical investment to him. Let's go ahead and add C5. It's not going to be much, but we'll still add it anyway. Wait, how much damage did it add? Wait, I think I copied the wrong one. Yeah, I grabbed the R1 one. I was supposed to grab the Harbinger one. C5, burst +3. Doesn't look like it moved much. Yeah, C5 still pretty bad, only a 2% increase. And C6 shouldn't be an increase at all for Ito. Yeah, C6, she's not getting more damage in Ito's team. There's no room to use it again. No room to cast her skill again in Ito's rotation, I mean, so... So for Ito, if you're pulling Chiori for Ito, there's no point going past C4R1. Not really a point going past C4R1 for Ito, but C4R1 is an excellent point to get Chiori to for Ito. She's going to be a complete freaking monster, literally doing more damage than Ito himself in the team at that point, with more than half of her damage being front-loaded. Now let me make a constellation table for the Navia team. I did it sloppily before. Make this easier to see. C0, C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, C6. Format number. Format percent. C1. %41 increase over C0, C2. %22 increase over C1. 71% increase. Oh my god, that is so funny. Her damage increases by 71% from C0 to C2 in Navia's team. That's freaking insane. They put it on steroids or something. 15% increase from C2 to C3. 97% from C0 to C3. C4. $19 from C3 to C4. A 135% increase from C0 to C4. Oh, that's insane. C5. Why am I freezing? C5. %, over C4. So that's like what? Yeah, 2% over C4 to C5, 2% to C0 to C5, 139%, and then lastly C6. $26. Yep, so over a 200% damage increase from C0 to C6 in Althea's team. Every constellation is a great damage increase, except C5 in Navia's team, so if I were to rank them, best constellation with Navia's team is definitely C1, then C1, then C6, then C4, then C2 in that order, but they're all great. And then her R1 is just an absolute monster in of itself. Absolutely incredible damage increase she gets from her weapon. It's like if I were to look at C6, nah, actually, that's too much. That's doing too much. I'm not about to look at C6 R1 for sub DPS. Already doing almost 1 million damage at C0. I mean C6 R0. That's insane. Okay, what else was there to check? My mind's drawing blanks. I'm not sure if there was something else I was supposed to be checking. More teams, I guess? We know our constellations are incredible. We know for artifacts you just use for Husk or for Golden Troop. We know for her weapon you absolutely want her signature, but if you don't have it, just use Harbinger or Cinnabar or Wolffang or Jade Cutter. Well, I guess I can count Miss Splitter and stuff. Why not? Then I'll just figure out some more teams to calc. Waiting for Miss Splitter to load. There we go. She had 2 or 3 stacks of Miss Splitter. I don't feel like figuring out Miss Splitter stacks. I'm just going to assume 2. It's 16% damage bonus at 2 stacks, right? Yeah, I think that's 16, so that's like... I'll make a table for her weapon, so why not? So we got Uraku. Jade, am I calling it Jade? It's PJC. Mist. Wolf Thing R5. R1. Harbinger. Cinnabar. I don't think there's anything else worth calculating. As far as weapons go, Jade Cutter and Mist Splitter cover other 5-star sword options. Wolffang covers the Battle Pass option, and Harbinger and Cinnabar cover the free-to-play options. Yeah, I think that's good enough. Let me organize it. There we go. So even compared to her second best weapon option, her signature is a massive increase. 19% over Wolffang R5 and like 22% over Jade Cutter, 24% over Mist Splitter. Over the free-to-play options, it's like 26. Yeah, like 26% better than her free-to-play weapon options, and like 20% better than her other 5-star / R5 BP weapon options. So her signature is absolutely incredible on her. Definitely worth getting if you're a Chiori enjoyer. Plus, it's a good generalist 5-star sword as well. On most, not all, but most sword characters, her weapon is like pretty similar to Jade Cutter and Mist. Not all, but most. So definitely worth getting for a generalist sword if you have Chiori. What was I gonna do with this column? What was I gonna do with this? I was gonna compare them all to her weapon. No, I was gonna compare her weapon to them all. That looks better. I think you could say she's kind of a well-baked character with how much vertical scaling she gets. But she's good at C0, so who cares? Yep, there we go. That covers everything we need for the weapons. Artifacts, I'll do one for artifacts real quick. Only 3 sets worth talking about on her anyway. Actually, can I export these tables to a chart? Let me try something. Insert chart. We don't need that. There we go, that's nice. Wait. Where's the signature on here? Okay, I don't know why. Something going wrong there. Where's her signature? Let me try that again. Why is her signature not popping up on this chart? Oh my god, it's not doing what it's supposed to do. Maybe a different chart style would work, I don't know. It's not gonna work, it's fine, I don't need it. Delete it, go away. Oh, back to what I was gonna do. Barhouse. For GT. To GO2 defense. Then all compared to us. What am I doing? There we go. Yep, just use Husker Golden Troop and two piece like 2 GO2 defense. Or you can probably use 2 Golden Troop as part of the 2 piece, will be fine, but I think that's enough of a damage upgrade for it to be definitely worth getting a full set on her over time. Now what else? Is there anything else I should calculate for now? I could calculate C6 main DPS. I think that's interesting. Yeah, let me try C6 main DPS Chiori. I think that's pretty interesting. I don't think she's worth using as a main DPS before C6 because the infusion only lasts for 5 seconds and it starts right after you cast her skill, so you need to start normal attacking on her right after casting her skill at C0, and if you do that, it's going to be kind of weird because you normally want to use her skill early into the rotation due to its duration, but if you try to main DPS her at C0, you're going to have to use it later than earlier, thus get less overall puppet hits in the rotation, plus you're not going to get her A1, which is definitely worth getting at C0. Yeah, definitely worth getting her A1 damage, because I'm pretty sure that's just going to be more damage than what her normal attacks would do anyway, so... Plus, it's only a 5-second infusion window, and there's no defense scaling on her normal attacks at C0, so... At C0, I don't think she works as a main DPS at all, but at C6, I think she can be... kind of I think she has potential to be an absolutely insane DPS at C6, so I'm going to try calculating that. Wait, wait for the key news to load. While that's loading, let's figure out the team and rotation. So, at C6, she's a main DPS that does a lot of normal attacks, a lot of elemental skill damage, heavily defense scaling. So, heavily defense scaling in Geo, you'll definitely want Guru. And you're going to do a lot of normal attacks, so I think Yunjin should be good. And then you still need a shield for Geo Resonance, so yeah, I think you'll just go full mono Geo, so something like Zhongli, Holy, what else? Let me think. Yeah, you can split Guru's skill in parts to get more uptime out of him. So something like Zhongli Oli, Guru E, Chiori Q, EE, Yunjin Q, then you use Guru Q. And then for Chiori's combo at C6 you would do in 3D, so E in 3D. I think her in 3D is like 1.7 seconds, so you should be able to do 3 in her 5-second infusion window, so E in 3D, E in 3D. Yeah, I think that should work. That should be like 13 seconds, I think. It's like 6, 12, yeah, like 13 seconds. Then add the swap times, like 21 seconds. Gonna have 6 kinos, your burst, 12 of these because of the reset thingy. And you cast her skill 4 times, no, 3 times, 2 times, so 2 cast and 2 A1 so far. So even before adding any buffs other than Geo Resonance and Zhongli Rush Shred, before adding any other buffs and even adding her normal attacks, she's already doing 1 million damage, so this is going to be a lot of damage, I can tell. So you got 20 attack percent from Tenacity, another 20% from a Bless. We're going to have 15 normal attack damage bonus from Yunjin. Smooth that up. We're going to have 15% damage bonus from Geo Resonance. 25 defense from Guru. Crit damage. 40 crit damage from Guru. 438 defense from Guru. Then I'll calc the wait. Oh, normal attacks don't spawn in. I'll have to pull those up manually, but even before adding in her normal attacks, we're doing 1.5 million damage. And her normal attacks should add a lot, because her C6 adds 235% to every single normal attack. And with this combo, I have calc here of E in 3D, E in 3. That's like 4 times 6, 6, 12, 18, 24. That's like 24 total normal attack hits, so that's like, well, that's like over 5,000 defense scaling plus Yunjin's buff, so that's gonna be a lot of damage. Let me see if I can pull up her normal attacks. Character attacks. There they are. C6 DPS. What is there? 10, 10, 10. Yep, they're here. Then I'll actually properly calc Genshin later, but should be like 2,000 added raw MV from Genshin. I think we've got, so you do 3, then 3, so that's 6, 12. Yeah, that's like 2.5 million damage she's doing at C6. And a lot of that should be front loaded, so let me try to figure out how much of this would be front loaded. Let's say, so early into the rotation you'll get like, what, 4 of the puppet hits. You'll have your 2 skill casts and your A1s. You'll have your burst. You'll have like 4 Kinus. Then let's just say you, in that time you do 1 in a string. Yeah, that's a lot of freaking damage that she's doing already pretty early into the rotation. It's like, yeah, that's a lot. With better subsets than Kachink main standards, yeah, she's gonna be, I think she's going to be pretty insane at C6. Could even make the rotation setup faster too, doing something like Zhongli hold, from the faster rotation setup, you could do something like Zhongli Holy, Guru EQ, Yunjin Q, Chiori QE, and just go in. So yeah, she does a ton, at C6 she does a ton of damage, can front load a lot of it. Has a shield for ease of use, and it can do super fast rotation setups of only like, what, 4 or 5 seconds? Pretty much only issue is most of it's kind of single target and she's melees, but yeah, I think she should be kind of insane at C6. It's kind of hard for me to compare to other C6 DPS since I don't have any myself, but I definitely see her being up there at C6, but we'll have to see. What else? Is there anything else I should calculate before I go? I think I covered most of the important things. You got the artifacts, weapons, probably the best team options, Ito, Navia, Lenny, Hu Tao. Constellations, weapons. Yeah, I think that about covers everything that I think that covers about all the important things. I do have to be up pretty early in the morning, so I think I'm gonna call it a night here. Thank you all for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this stream, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks. Bye.